So I am just on the BJJ Fanatics website, and what's amazing is now we've already talked about gravity is your friend, but there are 2 other instructionals that you might want to talk about.
Recently, I had the opportunity to work with BJJ Fanatics guy, and now we have 3 instructionals out there. We have escapes engineered for guys over 40. If you're 40 or more, hey, dig into it. Gravity is your friend. Sit-up sweeps. Been there for some time, and is really, really getting a lot of attention. And then we have the smash the knee folding pass. Now, that's one of my favorites. So if you haven't looked at them, take a look. BJJfanatics.com.
Welcome to Raw Radio.
And we are live.
Yeah, here we go.
Since you're not sure how to start, I'm going to start, okay?
Yeah, but don't give me like one word. You better ask me a question or something.
No, it's 2 words. We are live.
That's 3 words. What do you? We are live.
That's 3 words.
3 words. So did you? It's funny.
I'm so dyslexic.
You know, we never talk about
so dyslexic.
We never talk about politics the other day, and I think anybody who knows me knows my political points of view. So there was one politician that tweeted 2 words, all capital letters. Let's go, Brandon. It's like, wow, no. And then
that would be me.
Yeah, and then Biden. So I was making fun of that, and then the next day, Biden says, "I got 2 words for you: made in America." So I didn't know counting to 2 or 3 was that difficult.
Yeah, well, you know, it is what it is. We all have our struggles.
And anybody who's on the mats knows. So before you really make fun of those people, even though you pick one side or the other and you want to, how many times have you been on the mat and you're drilling? You know, and you're going back and forth.
Yeah.
You know, and let's say you're doing 2, 2 and 2, 2 and 2, and then at some point you're like, "Is it my turn?" Or right? And you're just counting to 2. You're only counting to 2. So before you make fun of everybody else, remember those moments.
Those moments, yeah. Whose turn? You go. No, well, I thought you were going. No,
I did it once.
I did it only once. You did twice.
Sometimes even when you're only going 1 and 1, you forget.
Yeah,
who just went.
Yeah. Amy Campo, huh?
Yeah, Amy.
What a great conversation. A young lady
happened.
who is climbing the world of grappling.
Right.
I mean, hey, so like when we were talking to her, can you visualize you going with Gabby Garcia?
No,
me neither.
I don't want to.
I mean, I love these matches, but talk about next level size and power, and not to take away. I'm not trying to be sarcastic or funny. No. Like I'm just talking about physical attributes,
right,
and jiu-jitsu, and then you have an underdog like Amy coming into the play, you know, and listening to her mindset going into these.
Yeah, I bet she didn't think of herself as an underdog. And we didn't ask her that. She didn't.
No, we didn't.
I bet she did not.
No, but you know what? I think reflecting back on the conversation, I don't think she was thinking about it as underdog or a winner. She just was there to do it.
Right.
I think that was the interesting part, you know, and we are talking about truth. We want to kind of hyper-focus this conversation on truth. She talked about it quite a bit. You know, what is the truth? What's the bottom line? What's the anchor point? Like stop bullshitting.
Yeah.
Stop messing around. Say as is. Peel all the layers and get to the bottom of this.
Yeah. And she's talking about herself, I think, not about others. I mean,
right. Well, she was talking about the mindset, right?
Yeah.
Like we were talking, we were trying to pick apart and listen to that episode. I think first of all, every female should listen to this. Like, as in my opinion, I highly recommend this because she does talk about training with men and training with different sizes and what's her vision on all of this. So one, that's huge, but also every guy should listen to this because it is mind blowing how somebody who is outweighed actually using those components, being smaller, to her advantage, right? And putting her in a situations of this world scene spotlight at ADCC, and then not only performing well, but actually taking it all the way to the top with, phenomenal performance.
Yeah. Yeah, and I what I really liked about it is, she talked about her, like she talked about like if jujitsu is this spider web, I'm going to spin the web where I want to go, and there might be points where I have to readjust and then take it back, but I'm going to keep doing what I need to do to get to where I want to be. And I think when you talk about somebody like her size going against somebody like Gabby, she knew, if she shoots, Gabby's going to sprawl, Gabby's going to smash her, and she's going to grind her down. So I'm not going to shoot. I'm not gonna. And she said she even gave her the opportunity to. She stood there like, come on. And she was like, no, so she stayed in her own head, played her own game, and struck when the time was right for her. And obviously we know the outcome. And I don't know how much we're talking about the actual topic here at hand, but
you deviated as always.
But I think, we always do that. But one thing that she said that you wrote down, I don't have my notebook, but, she talked about there's a few things you need to do before the competition. Yeah. And so you go ahead.
So like she talked about the truth, like get to the bottom of the truth. Like, and here, in her mind, there's like 3 points or 4 points of reality when it comes to competing in whichever capacity it is. Right. But like number 1 point is signing up. Like, be honest with yourself. That's the point 1. It's not you stepping into the competition. That's already later. The point 1, the first step, the initial thing is committing yourself to the act of competition in the future. Mm-hmm. Right. So that's like point 1 was signing up. And then she says, step on the mat at the academy. That's point 2. You don't step in, you already lost. Be honest about it. That's the anchor. Step 3 was stepping into the competition itself. And the most interesting part was that the final result, the fight itself, that's just showing up. Mm-hmm. That's just showing up. That's not the big event. That's not the pivot point. That's not the anticipating moment. No, that's just showing up. Mm-hmm. All the work that you've done, starting with signing up, committing yourself, showing up to the training, showing up to the competition, those are the important points. Yeah. So be honest about it. Like that was my big takeaway. I think sometimes we get into our heads and I can't compete because of this. I can't do this. I cannot have this promotion or this. I cannot take on this extra responsibility because this.
Well, what's the deal? So you have to ask yourself, I guess, along every one of those steps is what's the truth behind what your actions are? What are you doing it for? Are you signing up because somebody told you to? Or are you signing up because you really want this? Are you on the mat for the competition or are you on the mat for jiu-jitsu? I think if you're on the mat for the competition, you're probably not going to do as well in the long term as if you're on the mat for jiu-jitsu. And then you're honest with yourself there. And then the third thing, if you're getting on the mat at the competition and you failed at one of those other things, she kind of talked about this a little bit, but if you fail at point 1 and point 2, you're setting yourself up for failure. Mm-hmm. So if you're signing up for the right reasons, you want to do when you step into something, whether it's competition or anything else. And if you're doing it for the right reasons and you're truthful about it, and then you put in the work and you're truthful about, the goal is your goal to win a competition, or is your goal to get good at jiu-jitsu and then winning that competition is secondary?
Well, I think both of those goals are, good goals, and there's nothing wrong with having a goal as a competition.
Yeah, but be honest about it. That's my point. What are you going to do to get there? And
I think another point of this conversation is be truthful about the results that took place. Mm-hmm. Your day sucked. Yeah. Why? What's the bottom line of this?
Yeah.
Was it because everybody was better than you, or was it because your mind sucks and you have negative attitude? Mm-hmm. Because you were lazy, didn't want to show up. Maybe you didn't focus. Maybe, you ate freaking junky dinner right before and your performance sucked. You know, it all of that is, more we talk about, more we do this show. And we've been at it for what? Almost 2 years, right?
Feels like a long time.
Almost 2 years, right?
9 minutes.
9 minutes left?
No, that's how long we've been at it.
Oh.
9 minutes.
But more we do this show, more I'm realizing and it's really sinking heavy that most of the time is not our bodies, it's not our physical attributes, it's not our physical components that we have, but it's really our mind that is stopping us from achieving what we want.
Chris Howder was just here, and after the seminar we were talking. I was actually leaving. I was saying my goodbyes, and he was talking to somebody else. So while I was standing there waiting to say goodbye, he was talking about one of his students who had both legs and one arm blown off, and who's on the mats all the time, all the time. So anytime you're feeling, he's telling this other person, anytime you're feeling
sorry for yourself,
or you can't, think about those people who do that, right? So there's a lot of physical limitations for that person. Mm-hmm. Almost all the physical limitations you could have and still be out and about. Mm-hmm. But they're out there doing it, right? So there's really no reason other than what's going on in your own head that you can't be there as well.
Bottom line, stop making excuses. Nobody's going to feel sorry for you. I mean, that's listen,
yeah,
that's the truth. I mean, why are we beating around the bush
party
about these things? Right. I mean, I get it that it was a rough day. I get it was rough training. I get it maybe it was a rough month for you. I get it that it's hard. It's not supposed to be easy. Yeah. Since when life is easy? It's not. It sucks.
And when something real happens, when something
who's calling
devastating, spam risk.
You should have answered. We should have put it on the air.
Yeah.
You know how funny that was? And you are live on the show.
Well, I'm recording an episode of the Roll Radio right now. I'd love to give you my my account number. Yeah. My date of birth. What was I saying though? When something real happens, something devastating, something tragic, yes, people will feel for you. But when you are making excuses for things that are fairly easy to rectify, nobody's going to feel sorry for you. And it's a pity party and nobody's going to want to be at that party.
I'll take it to the next level. Even if things happen, they're out of our control, and life-changing events, something that's completely, very heavily impacting us. Even then, I think, if you want to get things done, you have to figure it out.
Sure.
It sucks.
There's a period.
It's hard.
But I think you're in those bigger events, you're given a window where people are like, oh, I get it.
Not always. Gary, not always.
I know.
There are situations where life sucks and you still got to pick up your shit and you got to go and do stuff.
Sure. But I think you need some of those, we're probably talking about extremes here.
Yeah, probably.
You need that time to process it.
But I guess what I'm trying to say.
Once you've been given that time to process it, then you got to pick yourself up and start moving again. Otherwise, it just becomes a pity party again.
Well, right. I guess what I'm trying to say, that life is not easy. Life is not fair. Things happen out of our control. There's plenty of things that we can't manipulate or touch. We can only control ourselves. Mm-hmm. And we can always find, and I say this all the time to all my students, you can find reasons not to train. Always. There's by far more than reasons to train. If you want to get good at it, show up. Mm-hmm. It's as simple as that. That's the bottom line. That's the truth right there.
Why? Because Stone Cold said so?
Because what?
Stone Cold said so?
What is that?
I love when you don't get any of the pop culture references. Stone Cold Steve
That's
Austin.
Ice cream. Oh.
No, it is. See, now you talk ice cream. You know what
ice
I'm
cream.
About. Yeah.
I imagine the fork.
That's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so. Oh. But yes, it is the bottom line. And sometimes for some people, it's harder to do those things than others, but we're all capable of it. So I think, there's two ways to look at that. There's a way to look at it like the people who need a little bit of time, the people who struggle, you can look at those people as weak, or you can look at those people and say they just haven't been given the opportunity yet. I think empathy goes a long way. And I think that if you can be empathetic with those people and get them to reflect a little bit and be honest, then they can start pulling themselves out of whatever.
I hope so.
they're in. But
I hope so.
help them up.
I think a lot of these opportunities are up to us too.
It's up to you to
know,
take the help that's being offered.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And you have, we're so far away from what we started talking about.
But bringing it back, the truth is there are opportunities ahead of you, in front of you, and you don't take it, then it's on you.
Yeah. Then
What are we supposed to do?
For sure.
Yeah,
you had the option. You didn't.
You chose not to because all the reasons that you gave me.
Right.
That's it.
Yep.
Done. We speechless.
Okay.
We end the episode when we got nothing to say.
We probably could have stopped as soon as we started. All right.
Later.
Thank you for listening to Raw Radio. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to leave us a review and help us make the show even more amazing. For future episodes, check out our website and follow us on all major podcast platforms. Take care.